I do not hate that idea, but I do understand Jonah's, I do understand how he felt about that. I do understand that. Now, the reason I understand it is because trying to deliver any type of message to people, it really tends to take a toll because you have to constantly keep repeating yourself and you're wondering, can they hear you? Or are they just playing with you and constantly asking for more and more? Like, wow, is the brain off and the mouth on? And so it's frustrating trying to help because people know so damn much nowadays. They know everything. So if I told you Jesus had a twin brother, and I can show it to you in the Bible, it says it right there. It'll say it. No, your preacher didn't read it because your preacher also told you. I dropped out of school in the 10th grade. I was robbing, killing, and stealing and hanging with a gang. Then I went to jail where I found God. Well, they say they found Jesus. That's what the preacher said. And somehow that dropped out of school in the 10th grade guy, went to prison guy, you trust him to read. Wow. That's why I say it's so damn hard talking to y'all, because if that's where you put your faith and trust, you know, damn the dude who was standing on stage getting the award for participating in the academic bowl, damn him and his ability to read and understand. You know, even though he did smash the whole school in order to get on the team, you know, disregard him. We need to talk to this dropped out of school in 10th grade guy. We trust that. That's why I said I understand Jonah's stance on this. Because damn it, you're dealing with a gang of the smartest to ever walk the planet, let them tell it, the most educated ever. In the No Child Left Behind generation, they are true narcissists, I say, indeed. Because if you don't tell them how good they doing and how fantastic they are extremely pissed with you. How dare you tell me I ain't fantastic, I ain't marvelous? Well, I can tell you because it's in you to be that. But right now, you're not displaying any of that. So God chastised the ones that he loved. And you all seem to hate each other because you refuse to tell one another when you're screwing up. You refuse to do it. You want to just keep patting them on the back and telling them how good they're doing. Well, change doesn't come from flowers and candy. Jesus didn't flip over tables because they were doing such a great job. He didn't get the whip and start beating people because they were doing so good. Your dog does not stop peeing on your rug because you asked it to. So when I come to you and try to tell you that
the Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth since 1993. It significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8888.
But I am required to assist in what it is I do. And as I was trying to explain to someone this morning, the difference in what I do is I don't care about the likes and shares. You can share what you like. I'm just here to kind of do what I was told to do, and that's tell you these things. So these things are Hebrews 2, 7 through 11. Learn how to read. It's telling you there are two of them. It's two of them. Now, that's what that's telling you. Now, if you can't read that and somehow you are failing to understand what also means, well, also means there's something I'm talking about, but then there's also something else. Now, like I was telling somebody today, early this morning, there's a difference in being confident in what I do, knowing that I can do it, And then there's a difference in me needing you to like what I do and give me admiration. See, one of those things I do not don't care about. Because who are you to tell me barely past grade curve ass is anything? Really? Who told you? You. Congratulations. You learn how to make money in the devil's world. I'm proud of you. But you don't know the law. And see, understanding the law will tell you that these gifts are from God to test and see your moral standing, to see if you'll help move the people forward, or will you continue to move yourself forward? Will you hold them back so you can stand on their backs, or will you lift them up so that they can reach a level and pull you up with them? See, most of us are scared to have somebody pull us up once we get up on the damn place where they got us. We were getting up there because of them. Now I'm up here and looking around and I ain't reaching down. See, sometimes the crabs help a crab get out the barrel, and then that joker run for the sea by him damn self or her damn self. Let me be not gender neutrals and shit and whatever, stopping from, make this fair and equally balanced. Stupid does not have a sex. Now, back to the whole problem with trying to deliver the message to a lot of people who I'm not going to say hate, but you really don't care to talk to. It is a requirement to warn you. As they said in the olden days, y'all asses is horrible, and God is not pleased. If you think God is pleased, and you actually think that a bloodbath and some bread will get you into heaven, let me tell you what Jesus said, because you didn't read this either. It's Matthew, I want to say. I'm going to get specific, not pacific, with you guys, because you always want to question what I say. So let me find it. I know I put it in my favorites. There it is. Jesus said, not Peter. Remember, this is the gospel, not the gossip. Matthew 5:17-20. Don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their person. I tell you the truth. Until heaven and earth disappear, people, not even the smallest detail of God's law will disappear until its purpose is achieved. So if you ignore the least commandment and teach others to do the same, you will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But anyone who obeys God's laws, teaches them, will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. But I warn you, unless your righteousness is better than the righteousness of the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, that didn't sound like what Peter said, I know, because Jesus said that. So your preacher telling you you're not under law, you now under grace, well, it told you where he going. He's going to be called the least in heaven. And if you actually know what the least in heaven is, that would be hell. So it goes back to another reminder, people. If there's a gang of fools going this way, you should question it. It's a couple people going that way. Question all those fools. It says a lot of people going the wrong way, following slick tongues because they got tingly ears. But I guess y'all missed that part. There's going to be a lot of false prophets, and somehow you guys hadn't found any of them yet, which is, again, amazing to me. Y'all ain't found none of the Bentley driving G8 flying asses running around here with the big old churches, but we don't have a grocery store in our communities. We don't own a bank nowhere. We haven't given zero credit loans or zero interest loans to the people so that they can fix up and remodel their homes and not lose their value? Or is the church a part of the buying up the poor community so that they can bring down the property value and help to regentrify your area? Are they a part of it? Are they the scumbags we talk about? Hidden in plain sight, wolf in sheep's clothing. Are they the ones that are keeping us distracted from what is real as schools close and jobs leave? We're going to take a commercial and pay some bills. And then we're going to come back and decide whether or not we condemning today too. So let us pick a commercial and let us move on.
The Mississippi Link is an African American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call. The Mississippi Link is an African American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippilink.com and click on Home Delivery.
Welcome back to the final half of this special edition of the Awdid. And I was thinking about doing some condemning, but you know what I thought about? Let's do some truth telling. Let's do some how I see things, because, I can see things. So let's work on that. Hey, guess what, guys? This is called Your History as It Was Written. And let us talk about the law again. The law is kind of like gravity. Down in the 10, this is still a law, and God's laws are immutable. You don't know what that word means. That means it's not changing. It's not going to change. Gravity is not going to change. You have to go to another planet, but gravity is still going to change because it's based on the mass of the object in which you're on. And so that's what we have. A 9.8 meters per second squared is for us here on Earth. That was some nerd stuff. You didn't need to know that. Here, this is what's written, though. These are some of the things that I found when I was looking in history. Now, mind you, television hit the market late 1940s. That's important to remember. Late 1940s is when television hit the market and became, Sears and Roebuck had them in the windows. People walking down the street, they see them. Kmart had them. Kmart used to exist back in the days. So now you got the TVs, everybody started buying them, and they put them in the house. They were really cheap, too, for a reason. For a reason, they were cheap. Now, here's the thing. 1940s, this is what happened. Following the dispute, the former prisoners of war were permitted to remain voluntarily in Britain, and where they would first have to return briefly to Germany before being allowed to officially migrate to Britain. By the end of 1947, about 250,000 prisoners of war were repatriated. Repatriated. That means they were now feeling British. Now, the same thing happened in America, people. It did. It really did. Now, in America, the United States of America, a list of World War II prisoners of war camps in the United States. In the United States, at the end of World War II, there were prisoners of war camps, including 175 branch camps serving 511 area camps containing over 425,000 prisoners of war, mostly German. The camps were located all over the United States, but were mostly in the South. Let me tell you why that's important, because I underlined that. Mostly in the South. Where do we have most of our we can't stand dark-skinned people shit going on? mostly in the South. Now, here's something they don't tell you in this little packaging, which I posted. You got to dig a little deeper. Now, those 425,000 prisoners of war were allowed to bring their families over here also, which included their wives, their kids, their grandmamas and mamas. That could have easily, probably turned into a couple of million real quick. You know, the United States of America, they didn't even tell y'all about that. Unless you was in that small town, you didn't know. Now, what they did tell you about, hey, Japanese Americans were placed in concentration camps based on location, population concentrations and regional politics. More than 112,000 Japanese Americans who were living on the West Coast were incarcerated in camps which were located in its interior. Now, they tell you about that. And then they even tell you they gave them $20,000 apiece. Now, the reason they don't tell you about them Germans. Oh, yeah, I got to read it to you because I know you ain't going to research this shit. It's even worse than you think. It's way worse. All right. The camps were located all over the United States, but mostly in the South due to high expense of heating and barracks and coal areas. Eventually, every state, with no exception of Nevada, North Dakota, Vermont, and Hawaii in the territory, had at least one POW from Germany. I tell you, it gets way worse. It's worse, guys, because these jokers, guess where they gave them jobs at? Take a good guess. In the following years, World War II, large numbers of German civilians and captured soldiers were forced into labor by Allied forces. The topics of using Germans as forced labor for reparations was first broached at the Tehran Conference 1943, where Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin demanded 4 million German workers. Now, oh yeah, more than 100. Hold up, that ain't the one. Where is it? Where is it at? Because you know they had them working in the military. Let me find it so I can read it to you, because I don't want y'all unhappy with my findings. But yeah, they had them working in the military. No, I didn't put this in order because, like I said, I was going to do something else with y'all. I was going to condemn you, but I think I need to educate you because you need to know what you're dealing with. This explains the tiki torches, remember? Remember the tiki torches? Know all the swastikas you seeing around? And you wondering, what are these fools doing? Who are all these Nazis? Well, damn, your government brought those Nazis over here in mass numbers and never told you. That's who that is. And then they think about it now. If you're working in the military, what's your next job actually? Government. 1940s, people, don't forget, this is when the TVs came out. Typewriters were typing up those books for y'all ass because ain't none of y'all seen a handwritten book. And typed books, that was 1904. That's a little bit more history for you. You know, 1904. So every book you ever saw typed out was after 1904. So quit telling me about, I got a book from so-and-so and it tell you some truth, because we actually had printing presses. No, we didn't. And we were the ones that were making sure the authenticity of these books stays true. I can't find it right now, but go look that up. I don't want to take up too much time. It's about to close this out. But a lot of those POWs, most of them worked in the military. I know it's on my Facebook page, but again, the truth is right there in front of you, people. They brought the folks over here in mass numbers. Now, here's the thing. 1940s. You got the Germans coming into America in mass numbers. You also have television starting to hit the scene. So you already know that they're using the television and music to feed you a narrative in which they want you to have. So imagine having those smarter people come over here and seeing you in the land of plenty. It is beautiful over here. It is so many natural resources. And there are a lot of people over here who clearly aren't aware of the strategies that we are able to use on them. So we'll throw in some propaganda on television, some more propaganda in the paper, and we'll divide these people. These are Nazis on TV, y'all. Tiki torches, swastikas. I just told you how they got here. Your problem is actually math. Most cities have most of the people in them. Most cities have most of the people. We know that. In a state like Mississippi, your cities have most of your population. And in those cities, they're mostly minority. Or they call you minority, which means you don't have any power. Not as in numbers. Because if the numbers are in the cities, then the numbers are actually in your favor. Now, what you don't understand is an apartment complex which sits on 3 acres has more people than the suburbs. And how many apartment complexes are located in a city? So once you learn to do math, and not that way that you didn't like, you remember you didn't like, well, do it in that way you didn't like. Algebra, I ain't gonna never use this. And they were happy you said that. And that's why they're able to trick your ass, because you don't know how to flip numbers around. You don't know how to see, why does A squared not equal C squared, A squared plus B squared not equal C squared? Why doesn't that work? And once you find out, because B squared is a lie. B squared is a lie. That's why the damn equation doesn't work. But the propaganda does. Black people spending trillions and trillions of dollars on stupid shit, tennis shoes. And nobody thinking that, you mean to tell me all these light-skinned folks ain't spending all their money on stupid shit, but how are we outnumbering they spending and we broke? It's because it's more y'all, you damn geniuses. That's why I don't want to tell you nothing, because you can't see the truth even when somebody explains it to you in numbers, because you don't like that kind of math. You want to have 1 + 1 = 2. And that's your truth. 1 + 1 = 2. And you don't want to do no A squared plus B squared shit. So they got a mind control over you because you don't understand, again, the power of the word. Y'all want to go out here and rap what you want to rap, sing what you want to sing, thinking it's not going to bring drama to your life. Trust me, I was in that boat with you. I didn't think it meant nothing. I thought it was entertainment. It was not. It was power of the word killing our community. We reaped what we sowed. And now look at it. So now if we're not going to accept responsibility for this and say it's time to stop, not put the brakes on, stop and go back. Let's bring love back into our communities. Let's bring trust. Let's bring some hugging in here. We have to get back to where we used to be, people, taking care of each other. The old people need to teach the young people. The middle needs to jump in and discipline the young. The young need to get some damn sense about yourselves. And what I mean is, this is not a everybody get a trophy world. I don't care what they told you. This is not a everybody get a trophy. And all these people being nice to you, that is not going to help you in the long run. It may feel good today, but I guarantee you, discipline, correction, that's the people who love you. When people tell you your ass is wrong, those people love you. People who really hate you, they'll tell you, drive down there, man. I've been down there a couple times. Waiting on your ass to crash, and then they be like, hey, man, I was trying to see if you were going to see that shit. They could have helped you, but you would choose to hang with them because for some reason we've become addicted to misery and pain and suffering. And we speak it as if it is our pain and suffering, as if I was in chains and whips. And these people owe me something for that. These people who didn't have nothing to do with it. They families prospered from it. Yeah, they didn't still had nothing to do with it. No more than I can change what my daddy did that got him killed. Should I pay for what he did? Should I pay for him losing the opportunity to raise his children? Should I have to pay for that shit? That's why I can't stand talking to y'all. Y'all stupid as hell. And you following stupid. Look, I got one more minute. Y'all need to get y'all shit together. God is finna punish y'all. I'm sure you know it. I'm sure you known it. So why dodge it? I don't want to tell you because then you're going to have a whole lot of questions for me. Well, here's the answer. Learn to damn read. It tells you you're not going to get no signs. You're going to get a sign that somebody don't want to help your ass. That's the sign. This is the damn sign. Get ready for the audit. Well, the audit is over. Here's something funny before I go. So I told people that I was auditing y'all's ass. I told them in 2022, actually, I think. It might be, yeah. And so my numbers at the time were over where I needed to be to do the audit. When I told them I was going to audit them, they started unfriending and unfollowing, as if that was going to stop something. We had already made the numbers, fools. All y'all showing me is that you are truly the people they said you are. So I'm going to warn, and the help is already online. I gave you the answers to the questions, to the test. I gave you the answer to the test. I even told you how to get there. Now, if you expected me to come and breastfeed it to you, ain't no milk in these titties. Hey, we'll see y'all next week. And hey, you've been audited. Yeah, hit the button. You can go. Fade it to black. Is the mic off? Look at that big button pusher.